Germany's growing strength. Americans, say the diplomat, hope for an outward looking Germany that is less conflicted about its weight in the world. Europeans, for their part, looked for leadership but want it to be tempered by traditional German self restraint. In the eyes of its allies, there are still two Germanys. It may have to learn to be both. Now, in my view, the Germans need to really become an outward looking power. They need to bring Russia in from the cold into the European Union. I think that's a very important thing. That the Germans and the British get together to form a maritime alliance, just like the British have done with or the English have done with the French, to make a tripartite alliance out of the Allies to make Europe a maritime and space power. ESA, the European Space Agency, is already larger than NASA, almost twice as big as NASA. Europe has shipyards and industrial capacity which could outstrip the United States easily. And the United States, and this will foster competition with the United States, which will lead eventually to the United States and the EU having competition between each other and reaching a parity of competition, which will increase the power of the West overall vis-a-vis China and the Asia Pacific and Latin American regions. Germany needs to get over itself. It needs to not be frightened of itself as it's actually terrified of itself. I believe the Germans are a very kind and honourable people. I've been there many times. I wish I could speak German, but the Germans speak English so well that I really do see an Anglophone Europe emerging, with Germany having English as a second language, which they do, and that the Anglo-German cooperation will be as great as it was from the start when the English basically created Germany in the 400 ADs through the Almanic Alliance, which defeated the Roman Empire. As much as that saddens me that the Roman Empire was defeated, but a new Roman Empire or a new Rome could emerge from the European Union. People have noted that the European Union is, in some way, like Barroso said, an empire. But I do not believe it is an empire that has overextended itself, which is the graveyard of all empires. That empires overextend and they are a sunk cost to the nation that creates them. What the European Union must do is create different unions in Africa. It's not a strategic point that we need an independent Boer Republic, but it would, in my view, help a lot. And I'll be speaking about this in my Africa video, which will follow this one. What Europe needs to do also is to link social security with the amount of children that are born, so that there is a link between the quantity of children that you have and the amount of pensions you receive. So to restore the birth rate. Germany is already paying women to have more children, and I believe that this should be a Europe-wide phenomenon. We also need to look at Swedish work-life balances where women are working but also having children more, and to restore the link, make a link between the birth rate of Europeans and the amount of immigration that we have at, say, 4% of the birth rate of European children who are born, so that we're not overrun by immigration, but we have an open and tolerant policy towards immigration is balanced between the two aspects that I just spoke about. What we need also is for, with Russia in the European Union and a Middle Eastern Union and a North African Union and an East African Union, a Central African Union, a South African Union, that Europe to dominate those areas like the United States dominated South America, but in a more humane way, to increase civilization rather than to simply have interventions. I think Africa is going to turn a corner. I'm I'm not pessimistic about it. I believe the Middle East is turning the corner through democratic revolutions because of the EU is affecting their law systems. Even Turkey's laws are being changed by the weight of the legal material